This video demonstrates the Oracle Tuxedo 12c application service version features. First, we'll give a brief introduction to the application service version features, and then we'll provide an example to demonstrate just how to use these features in practice. The application service version feature provides a new method to partition Oracle Tuxedo application, reinforces existing Oracle Tuxedo application routing policies, is purely configuration driven. The application group level version hierarchy overrides the application domain. It also provides MIB support to get and change the version at runtime. It provides cross-domain support. It provides TMQ forward support, and it provides COBOL support. There are two things to consider when using the application service version. The first thing to consider is the version of the client that sends the request. And the second thing to consider is the service acceptable version range, which determines whether a request from a client can be handled by the service. The application service version feature allows you to specify the version of the client that sends the request and the version range that a service can support. Once enabled, the client version should be in the service version range. The application service version feature introduces a few new configuration attributes in the UVB configuration file and the domain configuration file. For this demo, we will focus on the attributes used in the UVB configuration file. They are @ver, request version, and version range. The @ver attribute specifies whether the current Oracle Tuxedo application enables the application service version feature. The request version attribute specifies the version of the client that sends a request. It can be configured at the domain level and the group level. The group level overrides the domain level. The request version of the workstation client is determined by the request version of the WSL. The version range attribute specifies the acceptable request version range of the service. That is, whether the service can accept the request that comes from the client with the specified request version. It can be configured at the domain level and the group level. The group level overrides the domain level. You can use this feature to plan, develop, test, scale, and deploy Oracle Tuxedo applications. You can use the current Oracle Tuxedo application version to partition different virtual application domains and different virtual server groups in the current Oracle Tuxedo management hierarchy. This feature provides a flexible method to set up user applications according to a defined version. You can use this feature to seamlessly upgrade the application and reduce upgrade procedure risk. Let's take a look at the following example to see how to use the application service feature. Suppose a customer has already developed a billing system. The billing system provides services to store the billing data into the system and retrieves the billing data from the system. At first, they use the SHM model and store the billing data into the files because the system is small and they are on a very tight development time schedule. The choices make it easy to develop. The clients connect to the system through a workstation client. The system is configured with two WSL servers to connect the workstation client. Client 1 and Client 2 connect to WSL 1 server. Client 3 and Client 4 connect to WSL 2 server. The workstation client can be deployed on a remote machine or the same machine with the billing system. Additional WSLs and additional workstation clients can be added if necessary. The system is simple. As more and more users use the system, performance, availability, and security concerns increase. you can enhance the billing service by 1. Switching the SHM model to the MP model. The MP model provides better load balancing and high availability. Switch the file system to a database. A database provides better performance and security. Here's another scenario. The customer wants to upgrade to the new system with minimum impact. Number 1, make sure all enhancements are server-side enhancements. This reduces the effort greatly because the customer does not need to redeploy all the clients because there are so many client machines. Number 2, the customer wants to gradually upgrade all clients to the new service. In the beginning, just a small part of the client base will be upgraded to the new service. After the new system becomes stable, the rest of the clients are migrated to the new system. And new clients will simply use the new system. So, according to our requirements, the ideal new system architecture should be something like this. Using the MP model, the enhanced services all run on a new machine to separate the new system from the old system. The old services still run on the old machines. The new system connects to a database to store billing data. New clients connect to the new machine and call the enhanced services to get better performance. A few of the old clients call the new services, but most of the old clients still call the old services. After the new system becomes stable, the old clients are switched to the new system. Without the application service version feature, it would be very, very difficult to get this done. The application service version feature allows us to easily create and establish this type of architecture, enabling the application service version feature. Application Group 1 provides old services on the old machine. The version range attribute of Application Group 1 is 1-1. So the services in this group can only accept requests coming from a client with a request version 1. The request version of Workstation Group 1 is 1. So the request version of the WSL1 server is 1. The request version of Workstation Client 1 and Workstation Client 2 are 1 because these two clients connect to WSL1 server. The requests sent by these two clients can only be handled by the services in Application Groups 1, which are all old services. The request version of Workstation Group 2 is 2, so the request version of the WSL2 server is 2. The request version of Workstation Client 3 and Workstation Client 4 are 2 because these two clients connect to the WSL2 server. The requests sent by these two clients can only be handled by the services in Application Groups 2, which are all new services. The request version of Workstation Group 3 is 2, so the request version of the WSL3 server is 2. The request version of Workstation Client 5 is 2 because this client connects to the WSL3 server. Requests sent by this client can only be handled by the services in Application Groups 2, which are all new services. Now, let's take a look to see how to implement this. First, let's see how the old billing system works. Take a look at the UVB Configuration File. It is an SHM domain application that runs on Linux machine. There are two servers configured which provide the load balancing on the same machine. The two WSL servers are configured to connect to the workstation clients. Clients 1 and 2, they both connect to the server WSL1. Clients 3 and 4, they both connect to the server WSL2. To keep things simple, we'll run all the clients on the same machine with the billing system. If you'd like, you can also run the client on another machine. Okay, let's boot the application. Let's store some billing data into the billing system from clients 1, 2, 3, and 4. This data should be stored in a data file. We're just going to show client 1. The process is the same for the other directories. The data is stored in the file bill_file in the appdir directory. Let's check the file. All the data comes from clients 1, 2, 3, and 4 are stored in this file. Let's take a look at the new billing system. The directory bill_server_v1 contains the old billing system, and the directory bill_server_v2 contains the new billing system. The new billing system uses the database Tuxedo/SQL to store the data. Let's take a look at the difference between the old billing system and the new billing system in the UVB Configuration File. The application uses the MP model and enables the application service version feature. Let's add a new machine. This machine runs the new billing system. The old machine runs the old billing system. Let's add the version range 1-1 to the APPGRP_V1 group. Now, let's add the APPGRP_V2 group on the new machine. Its range is 2-2. The APPGRP_V2 machine connects to the database, so it is configured with TMS. Now let's add the request version to the WSGRP1 group. The request version for this group is 1. Now let's add the request version to the WSGRP2 group. The request version for this group is 2. Let's add the new group WSGRP3 on the new machine. And this new group has a request version of 2. There is no change for the old WSL server. Okay, now let's add a new WSL server on the new machine. There is no change for clients 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now let's add a new client, client 5. Clients 1 and 2 connect to the WSL1 server and call old services. Clients 3 and 4 connect to the WSL2 server and call new services. The new client 5 connects to the WSL3 server and calls new services. Now let's boot the application. Let's store some data into the billing system from clients 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now, let's take a look at client 5. The process is the same for the other clients. The data from the old billing system is stored in the bill_file file on the old machine. Let's take a look at the file now. All the data from clients 1 and 2 are stored in this file. The data on the new billing system is stored in the database on the new machine. Let's check the database with the SQL client. All the data from clients 3, 4, and 5 are stored in the database. If you like, you can easily switch to clients 1 and 2 on the new billing system by changing the WSNADDR address. For example, let's change the client to connect to the WSL3 server, which calls the new services. Now, let's store some data from client 1. One's data is completely stored in the database. So now you can see that using the application service version feature makes it very convenient to upgrade the system. We just showed some basic usage for the application service version feature in this video. This feature has many other functionalities and usage. For more information, visit the Oracle Tuxedo page on the OTN.